it gets them more engaged around the product, it gets them using the product more, it gets them loving the product more, because they can see their momentum. So do it for your users, but mainly do it for your company. It's more about that, just as you said, like getting that momentum down, writing down. I'm a big fan of keeping a journal, because you see where you've been, you see the momentum, and you actually see progress. It's so hard to see otherwise.
We have 2 microphones here, so we are going to have time for some questions. If you'd like to come up, ask Jack a question. We've got 2 microphones, so please wave if you're ready. I wanted to, well, and also there was an announcement, I think from Twitter. Owen, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure if that announcement's been made already, but we should also have reporters ask Jack about the announcement if it's relevant. I actually haven't even seen it yet. Do you know what the announcement is?
I know we're having an announcement. I was just saying this earlier to someone backstage, is that I think it's really it's a great turning point in the company when you can have people into your company and hold a press release and a press conference at your company and explain about the product. It's like having a party in your house and showing off your bookshelf. It's a turning point in the company. It's a maturity point, which is just a real sign of success and an exciting thing. So I'm really excited to allow them to keep all that glory.
Okay, so we're not going to expose it yet, right? So it hasn't happened yet. So look, what does it take to? Any questions? What does it take to get these big ideas? You sort of dodged the question when I first asked it. So you get the big ideas. I mean, are you thinking harder than the rest of us? Are you smarter? Are you talking to the right people? Are you just up and down Sand Hill Road, connecting the dots a little more, or up in Soma with the rest of the developers, which is where you're from, right? You're spending your time somewhere in some bar in Mission, right? Dreaming up these ideas. But can you tell? I mean, there's hundreds of entrepreneurs trying to come up with the next thing. How do you do that twice in a row? Thinking of the big idea. Is there? It can't be luck.
Well, the first thing is, I don't think I never consider it to be a big idea. It's a small, interesting, curious idea that I want to work on. It's something I want to work on so much because I want to share it with someone that I know. And the hardest thing to do for any entrepreneur, for anything creative, is to get started. So the first thing I do is, if I'm thinking about something, and if I enjoy thinking about it and I really want to see it, then I get it out of my head. If you don't get it out of your head, you're constantly going to be editing it in your head, and you'll be making excuses for why you're not going to be working on it. So you'll say, I have this idea, but if only this existed, or if only Apple did this, or if this person came into my life at this point, then I can start. But until that point, I'm not going to start. You have to get it out of your head. You need to get other people to see it. You need to get other people to participate. So Twitter came about that way. It was an idea that had been evolving since I was about 15 years old from various degrees. And it finally came to fruition with a great team around me, a great team of people around me, Biz and Ev and Noah and Florian and Crystal. And also just a really fortunate situation, which was SMS. SMS in 2006 finally hit the United States, so it finally became big and people started using it. And the combination of SMS, which is a technology I just fell in love with those people, was a fortunate situation that I recognized and we executed on. And it took us a while. We started in March of 2006 and weren't really well known until March of 2007 at South by Southwest. But we kept plugging away and we kept inviting more and more of our friends, and they gave us feedback, and we kept iterating the system. But the thing was, we had it out of our heads, people were using it every day, and it was something that people could make more tangible and see evolve in front of them. And that's been true for Twitter. It's also been true for Square. So it's not so much about luck. It's about recognizing fortunate situations and acting on them, and cultivating that ability.
On the so again, any questions? Feel free to come up to the microphone. Just got a couple of seconds left. Maybe time for one more question. For me, apparently. In terms of value being created. You know, we talked about this theme over the course of the demo. There's all these industries that are popping up. There's mobile, cloud, all these things in social interaction joining together. You've talked about the immediacy of the web, transparency, virtualization. Is there any, you know, if you weren't starting Square, is there any other place that's really sexy right now? I mean, you talked about a little bit of fortune mixed with, you know, timing, with actually going for it and executing right away. What would you do? Is there any field that you would launch into now?
Maybe not right now, but maybe in 2 years, healthcare. I think the healthcare space is very, very interesting. I think in 2 years, as the public conversation sort of settles down, we can see a lot more innovation. But I think there's some amazing things to happen there, and a lot around preventative care and preventative measures to address health before it becomes something that we need to cure or care for. So you know, you're seeing a lot with, you know, building pedometers into the Nano or the Fitbit or these sleep monitors. These are things that if we can inspire the country to use them and inspire people to really pick these things up and wear them every day, have a transformational shift on the health of our country. And it would take a lot of the burden and the crisis and all the issues and the weight out of the healthcare system and the insurance companies, and really put the focus back on me as a person caring about my health. If you think about it, there's nothing more precious to us as humans than our health. But for most humans, it's a black box. It's something that we don't really understand. It's not something tangible at all. So how do we make that more tangible? How do we make that more approachable, immediate, and transparent?
Great. Well, unfortunately, we're out of time. I'm glad you mentioned healthcare. We've got a couple of healthcare companies there. Not many, but they're going to be coming up later over the course of the conference. So, Jack, thanks a lot for joining us. Really appreciate it.